Well,
Don't ask
that's
me what I did that we're able to get this.
you asked me. Yeah, you asked me to call Sand and Hamilton. Hamilton, I was talking to, and we got a call and never did get back together again.
Hey, I'm here now. That was Pete had called me and I tried to put two calls together. I can't figure that out.
Well, I did the same thing with Valoris, and I disconnected whoever I was talking to there. So,
Yeah, you can make two, but I can't take one that comes in, I guess, and put them together.
yeah,
Who knows?
Well, it took us a half hour, but we did it.
Well, good job.
yeah,
That electrical engineering background from Purdue is what made the difference.
yeah.
There you go.
Here I am looking at 7 engineers, and we're all trying to figure out how to use a smartphone, any smartphone, let alone
You're
a
just
Zoom
smarter
call.
than we are, that's all.
Yeah.
Hey,
I keep,
Pete.
Hey, Pete.
How are you?
Hey, Pete.
Pete,
Pete,
how you doing?
Can you
I'm
hear me?
here. I lost
There he
my
is.
picture.
Those are your new digs, huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Okay.
Can
I
you
need my
hear
new
us?
digs.
Whoops, Pete's gone.
Your
No,
new digs? Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Hey,
Pete's here.
Peter.
Pete was telling me earlier that he moved this past week into senior
Yeah.
living, and that's what we're going to do a week from tomorrow.
Oh, are you really? Where's yours?
Here in
I'm here, but I
Here.
lost my screen.
Glenview, Illinois.
No, Harry, you're still on there.
Yeah, I'm still on.
Hey, Harry.
Trying to get a picture.
Sure, we need a traffic cop or
Well,
I keep telling people when we're talking about modern communications that when we entered college, the transistor had just been invented.
oh yeah. Well, we studied it, transistor theory on mimeograph pages.
Exactly. Purple print mimeograph.
yeah.
And the
You
TV,
guys
that
must
one
be
TV
awful.
we had in the house on the antenna on the roof had all vacuum tubes.
Yeah.
That was our textbook, the vacuum tube manual. Remember that green book? I think I still have it someplace. I'm not sure.
It was
You
It was
guys
a-
sound like a bunch of old farts.
But today at the gym, I was at the gym today here at Sawgrass, and there's a fellow there who's a SIG from Ball State, and he was class of 62. I'm sorry, yeah, 62. He's 4 years older than we are, but he was born in Brook and knew George Ade and knew all about Art Delta. Really nice guy. Jim is his name. I don't remember his last name, but he was just stunned that I told him about the Zoom meetings and the organ recital and all that stuff. He was just,
Yep.
he said, I wish we could do it with my class, but he said, I can't find my class. He says,
Yeah. I'm having a thing with my high school class. Somehow they have my address, but when I try to get a hold of any of them, it seems to come back, no phone calls, no Zoom calls for sure. It's sort of frustrating because they send me a note and say, update your profile, and I don't know how to get back hold of them. Excuse me.
speaking of phones.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Hey, I'm in the middle of a Zoom call right now, and I need to talk to you later. Thank you.
So Bernie, how's your hip?
It's doing well, Bob. I had surgery 3 weeks ago yesterday, and recovery period 6 weeks. So I'm halfway through it, and I'm on a cane, and I can walk some steps without the cane. So the therapist says I'm right where I should be. And
Good, good.
I've got a session in a little over an hour. I'm going three days a week to therapy. And
Good.
so yeah. So it's
Yeah.
So I've had two knees and the other hip, so you'd think the doctor would give me a discount by,
No,
this fourth one, but no.
And you had a shoulder too, haven't you?
I had a rotator, not replacement though,
No.
just sewed up some tendons.
Yeah, sort of top to bottom remodel.
Yeah, well, somebody said the body is just like a car, that when it gets old enough, it needs replacement parts.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Right.
Hey, well, there's a slight pause. Any of you guys done anything with Fisher Investments?
No,
Just
My
watch
son-
the ads on TV.
Yeah,
But none of you any business relationship with them? Okay,
no.
Mhm.
okay.
Have you?
Well, I'm trying to, but I'm about to tie a shit can to their tail. And I'll tell you what's happening, why it's pissing me off is there's so many people that have called me wanting the same information that I have either sent and signed by DocuSign or sent by emails or answered long phone calls. And it's obvious to me that this is a marketing organization. And, that's not why I'm interested in doing it. I am looking for someone to handle our investments when I'm gone
Sure.
or incapable of handling it. Because I have, ever since we had computers, so back to 81, I have done my own investing and been able to live with it. But Shirley has no interest at all, nor skills to do it. And so we're looking for some place that would pick it up when I am not able to. And I've been on it for now about 3 years. And I've talked to a bundle of different companies that advertise as investment advisors. Some of them are fiduciaries like Fisher is, which means that they are tied to not selling you products like insurance or whatever. Others are, like Schwab or Vanguard or something. They tell you up front, they got a vested interest in selling you a product. You don't have to buy it, but and I find I like the straight off the shoulder approach.
okay.
I'm really getting frustrated with this thing. It's just obviously too many people trying to close the deal.
Have you talked to Northern Trust in Chicago? I have friends who have used them and are very pleased with them.
Yeah,
They're good.
We've
They
had
did
our
all the
invest,
stuff at, we had Northern Trust at ITW, of course, because that's part of the family, but Northern is really good. I would agree with that.
Yeah, you can trust them, Yeah.
Buzz, we've had our investments with R.W. Baird and an office in Boulder, Colorado, and the service we've gotten is exemplary. Very smart young men, and it's a reputable organization out of Milwaukee, been around for 100 years, and so you might just inquire about Baird.
well, I have a 35-year relationship with Charles Schwab, and it's excellent. As just an example, I tell you, I'm frustrated with Zoom or with Fisher. I spent an hour and 15 minutes on the call with them this morning, and they said, okay, we're going to send you the paperwork back, and you're going to have to re-sign it and get DocuSign to sign that and to send it back to us, and then we'll correct it. And it's a mistake that they made when they were trying to enroll themselves at Schwab so that they could have access to 3 accounts. And they disenrolled me accidentally. I said, well, you disenrolled me in a minute. You can enroll me in a minute. And he said, no, we can't do that. We've got to do all this other stuff. So when I hung up from him, I called Schwab and I talked to my personal representative there, which is handy to have somebody, that you can talk to. And we went through it. And while I was on the phone with him, we got it fixed. It's done. And that's the kind of relationship I like.
Sure.
Are
know.
you sure you're not talking to the Russians there, Bob?
I wonder, I mean,
I'd get a hold of Equifax or somebody and put a block on all your stuff because if that stuff's, you got all these different people talking to you and getting your information, that's generally not a good idea. And,
yeah,
I have to tell you, we got the city of Jacksonville Beach, Florida, which is where we are basically, the utility that services the electric, they got hacked and all the data was stolen, all our personal information. And so I got, I think it's Equifax to block, any attempts to get into my accounts and all that good stuff, because it's crazy. They refuse to pay the ransom. So now they've got the information. In the meantime, none of us are getting an electric bill because the systems are all shut down. So it's really kind of a zoo.
yeah.
Hey, I want to show you something. That's not what I want to show you. Here's
Don't show us your
what I want to show
screenshots.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Here's what I want to show you. Zeus Zeus told me about this book. So I got a copy. I'm halfway through it. And it's about, it has a lot to do with Oscar Robertson. And when I was playing high school basketball with Danny Meyer at Cathedral, we played Crispus Attucks when Oscar was a sophomore. And it really starts out with his sophomore year at Crispus Attucks, which was our senior year. And we played in Hinkle Fieldhouse. So it was kind of interesting. And George, of course, is familiar with all the high schools that they talk about, Shortridge and Tech and Sacred Heart. So far, they haven't mentioned Cathedral, but
They do though, Bernie. They do mention Cathedral some places, I recall.
do they? Okay.
I finished the book. I finished it, and I've sent it down to my son Nick because he was anxious to get it.
Good. I'm going to give mine to Danny Meyer when I get through with it. But it's really an interesting book about, when we were in high school and college. And the thrust that what the author is really doing is talking about racism, systemic racism at the time. And he does a pretty good job of laying it out, and the Attucks was the only black high school in Indianapolis. And the principal there and the faculty, they really drummed into those students, don't go showing off, keep a low profile and all that. And that's what they did. And it's kind of fascinating to read about it.
Well, the book, this guy is really kind of hard on, I think goes a little bit overboard, frankly, on some of this stuff, but I never recognized this racism that was going on. We had blacks at Shortridge High School on the teams. We had them in class. My dad stopped.
Annex.
What's that? Oh. My dad's flower shop was very close to Indiana. What's that, Pete?
I said, did you have Attucks Annex? That's what Shortridge was called.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of blacks. So I don't know. Anyway, it's a very interesting book. I don't want to dwell on it anymore, but it's interesting. It talks about all the behind the scenes stuff that was going on in the state of Indiana and in Indianapolis in particular, and in other cities in Indiana, which were really apparently quite racist. And the Ku Klux Klan was a big deal in Indiana at the time. It's kind of
founded in Elwood.
Yeah, kind of surprising actually, but interesting book. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Of course, Indiana basketball has just made a big step forward by recruiting Caitlin Clark to play for the,
Yeah.
the
The
team. Boy,
Fever for $78,000 a year.
well, somebody told me that in the NIL, she's making about 3 million.
Yeah.
That who?
The NIL, name, image, and likeness.
Oh, yeah.
College.
Yeah.
She's
She
making
gets
more
about
in
3.
college than she will in pro ball for a while.
Well, she'll still,
That'll change for sure. I mean, you better believe that the Indiana is gonna have to pay her a hell of a lot more than that, the 78
yeah.
grand.
yeah. Well, that's the union agreed salary for the first 4 years, or for the first 4 selects, I don't know. But
Can't be first 4 years.
no, first 4 players
Selected.
selected.
Well,
Anyway,
did
I
you
won't worry
see,
about her.
did you see where those jerks at Dartmouth, the basketball team voted to unionize? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break.
And the president of the university had an article in the Wall Street Journal, where she's fighting against that,
Well, sure,
yeah,
that's absurd,
yeah.
And all the publicity has been about basketball, both women's and men's, and with the portal that kids are hopping from college to college every year and all that going on. I've never once read a thing about they're seeking a good education.
That's
No.
right.
Well,
What's the point of it?
Yeah.
that hadn't been a serious consideration for decades.
Right.
Yeah. Well, didn't I see that one of the 2 women stars that have been so in the papers recently was a straight A student? One of the 2. I think it's the one from Iowa,
That's Caitlin
That's
Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. I believe that was in the paper recently that she was straight A student.
Well, she was amazing how she can hit those long threes.
I can't even throw the ball that far.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I can't make a free throw. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Boy, Connecticut sure did a job on our 3-point shooters, didn't they?
They sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, they shut them down. Totally shut them down.
Yeah.
For Worker, Edie had a good game, but boy, the rest
Well,
of
he
the guys
can't,
out there were struggling.
he can't win by himself, though. That's the problem.
Right.
Did you
Well,
see where?
we have 6 outstanding 3-point shooters. They were second in the country on percentage
Right.
made,
Right.
and they shut them all
One of
down.
them is transferring. Did you see Mason Gillis is leaving? He's entered the transfer portal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was voted the best 6th man in the conference, and he's a
Yeah.
definite 3-point shooter. But he had one shot, one try in the Connecticut game, and it was blocked, and that was it. So
I saw
That
the
was
game where
thing
he
that was
made
so
9.
obvious about
I
the
saw-
game is none of the 3-point shooters were even trying to shoot a 3-pointer.
well, they
Everybody
couldn't.
tried to get it
They
in
couldn't.
Edie.
They couldn't, yeah.
They couldn't.
I saw the game where Gillis made 9 3-pointers.
Yeah, I watched that game. That was amazing. He couldn't miss.
Yeah.
But
The,
Terry just
the coach.
passed on something to me. She's she lives in Indianapolis and got the Indianapolis paper apparently. Said that Edie did not make his grades the last semester and will be returning, which means he can play another year.
What?
Really?
Edie. Yeah.
You're kidding.
He's not going to be back.
I don't know.
He didn't make his grades?
But I guess maybe that's intentional. Maybe that allows him to play for another year, and maybe he's
Well, no,
making
he
more
had
money.
he had another year of eligibility.
Well, maybe he, like some of the others, can make
Yeah,
more money as a high school, as a college player than he can in the pros.
Really? I was in the Indianapolis Star today.
No, it wasn't today, George. Terry passed that on to me, I don't know, a few days ago when we were just talking.
Because I haven't seen that anywhere else. I look at the Bleacher Report on my phone, which has all the Purdue and Michigan, all the basketball and baseball nonsense, and I never saw that. But wow. But why would, if he didn't make his grades, then that might mean he didn't get his diploma.
Yeah, that would
Well,
be.
yeah, but if he didn't make his grade, I thought if you didn't make your grades, you couldn't play.
Well, I thought that too, but that may be old style. That may be our generation.
I
Yeah.
can attest to
But
that.
they-
You remember the Green Door? I lived there my junior year and flunked a course. The easiest course I ever took, and I flunked it. And I
Oh.
couldn't play baseball. I could not play baseball the next year.
Oh,
Really? Oh, my.
Huh.
You kept that quiet, Harry. We didn't know that until now.
Yeah. I tried to keep it quiet from my parents too, but they found
That didn't work.
Yes.
I'm really
When your
disappointed to
parents
hear
got
that,
the-
Harry, because I've been telling everybody that I went to school with this guy that was All-American 4 years, and it was, they asked who, and that, I said, well, a guy in Kansas, Eric Thompson, They say, oh, well, I don't remember that. Okay, somebody talk.
Well, since the organ recital was already open with Bernie, I want all of you guys to raise your hands if you have a frequency and urgency problem.
Oh, shit. How about a dribble or a dribble and a leakage,
Okay,
Yeah, we got a little of
If you
that.
dribble and leak, both hands, please.
so have any of you had TURP surgery?
No.
TURP.
What, SCRP?
TURP. I had that done about 2 weeks ago. I want you to talk to me if you're gonna have it. Talk to me first.
Oh, well, you're talking to us.
Well, what it does is one of the major problems with frequency and urgency is your prostate has enlarged and is squeezing down on the urethra. And it affects both the function of the bladder as well as the urethra itself. So they go in up through the little guy and cut away the portion of the bladder, excuse me, of the prostate.
I'm going to throw up in my wastebasket.
And then you have to wear a catheter for 2 to 4 days. It was only 2 days for me, which is not a whole lot of fun. So anyway, if anybody is faced with TURP surgery, contact me first.
Did it work?
Did it work?
Well, what if you don't, what if
I've
you have a, I don't have a prostate. They took it out 20 years ago. I had the radical surgery. So
Yeah.
now what's causing my dribbling problem here? So I'm not
That's
talking about
another issue.
basketball either. So.
That's another issue.
John, did it work?
They say
Salt
it's
water's getting in the
gonna
mouth.
take 2 to 4 weeks before it all gets settled down and sorted out.
Okay.
So I think it may be working. I'm also taking this interesting. I was taking a drug called tamsulosin, which is supposed to relieve the problem, and it didn't. So then he put me on the next level up, Myrbetriq. Strange name. We have Medicare and a backup ARP, United Health. So we've got good insurance coverage. But the first 30 pills, a 1 month supply of Myrbetriq was $446.
I was on Tamulocin and it didn't work for me either. And now I'm on Mirabegron.
Okay, that's different from Myrbetriq.
Mirabagron.
Yeah, that's different. But anyway,
On my
the price as your expenditures on prescription meds increases, Medicare starts kicking in. You get into the donut hole area. So my third month was only $79. So, and I'll probably be on that for a while. He says just keep taking it. So I'm hoping that it's going to work. I'll tell you.
I'm on J&B Scotch and it works wonders. And it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Pete, tell us about your new digs. We can see your new digs in the background there.
Yeah, it's a nice apartment. I've got a pretty good, nice big living room, and I got my computer and CT in, and I got cable here, and I got most of the stations. And then, the kids cobbled up, furniture from everywhere. And, I've got a dining area and a stove and everything. I don't have a dishwasher, but I don't have any dishes to speak of. And because I eat in the dining room, cooking food, but I won't today. But then there's a nice big room. In fact, my gal's got her massage table up there for me, and because I usually get a massage every 2 weeks, and so we have room for that. And in the bedroom, there's a walk-in closet with it's about 10 by 10, and then got a bath and a half. The tub's a problem. It's a little hard for me to use, but other than that, but
Surprised they don't have showers.
hmm?
Surprised they don't have a
Um,
shower for that reason.
Well, I mean, it's a shower, but it's a curtain shower.
Yeah.
I'm used to
Oh.
a whole room shower in.
You need a walk-in
Mine's-
shower or
Yeah.
bathtub.
Mine's a 4x7. I don't even have a curtain on it. It's so big. I think Hammy saw it and
So Pete, what'd you do
Kurt
with,
saw it, I think, but
what'd you do with the family home?
it's sitting there. They don't want me to sell it. They'll probably fight over it. But my son would like to, if he gets control of it, which if his sister lets him, would be fine. He'd like to maybe make a Airbnb out of it since it's an unusual home. And we're got Lafayette, Indianapolis, about 30 or 40 minutes each way. And then the grandkids could stay there if they needed a thing.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Okay.
He was
Beg your
telling
pardon?
me his brother Tom is in the same place.
Yeah, Tom lives where, same place I do.
Ah.
And his fifth wife.
Oh,
But
he's got a
it's
new
nice
ex-wife?
facility. No, he's got 4 ex-wives, but I think they're all dead except one.
Oh,
His said, I wish he'd quit getting step parents because I get tired of memorizing all their names.
Oh, my
Okay,
God.
well, let's go for the good of the order around the room. Harry Thompson, start us off.
Well, we've had a unusual weather year, and I don't know if you guys have had it too, but it seems like the winds have never stopped. I mean, a lot of wind. And yesterday, I drove downtown in a predicted windstorm and rainstorm, and it was one of the scariest things that I ever did. You drive down the street, and I stayed off the highway, but I took the side streets, and water would puddle in the side streets, and of course the damn trucks coming the other way splash the water on you, and you can't see for a couple of minutes. So it was scary. It's a little bit better now. We're gonna go to Bentonville tomorrow for a quiet couple of days. Hopefully, they're not having bad weather. So, anyway, it's the wind. The wind is just continuous. It just doesn't stop. I don't recall this ever happening. I don't know if it's happening to where you guys live, but
Yes,
I don't know the solution for it outside of get out of town. but it's not just Kansas City. It's a lot, big area.
We've had, I think at least we've had 25 or 30 mile an hour for, except for a couple of days for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Thanks, Harry.
guess you know
John
our-
Andrew?
Well, first of all, I have a book that all of you need to read. We are at that stage in our lives where, like Bernie, you're going to be moving again. Pete, you've already moved. Who knows who else? This is a book that you all need to read.
Well, we're finding that out.
Well, and that's the truth. Yeah,
You know, as you know, it's really true.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Our kids don't want all the shit we've
Oh.
accumulated.
Oh,
Absolutely.
they don't. They don't.
So anyway, that's a book that we both read. Are we doing anything about it yet? No, that's tomorrow.
I
That's
threw,
right.
I threw my slide rule away last week.
Oh,
Downsizing.
heresy, heresy.
Talk about shit nobody wants.
But
Oh,
it is.
We got some traveling coming up. The last operational LST, it was the ship I was on, is in Evansville, Indiana. And it's LST 325. I was on 1083, so a couple of generations later. My grandson is getting married in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin on July 13th. We're going to make a big camping trip out of it.
Neat
So we're
place,
driving a
neat
road
place.
track. And we're going to drive to Evansville first. And I'm going to have a visit on the ship, and I'm getting special tour by the guy who does the engineering to take us down into the engine rooms, which they don't normally make available to the tourists. It'd be fun to be on one after 65 years.
Sure. Hey, if you come through Chicago, John, and the place we're moving, they have 3 guest rooms. So think about, you know.
Well, thank you, Ben. But we're going to be on kind of a tight schedule because from Evansville, we got to drive straight to Lake Geneva.
Oh,
And the wedding's on July 13th. Then we go up to northern Wisconsin to visit some friends who live here. Then we're heading across the Great Plains, make our way to Colorado because we've got a group campground July 24, 5, 6 outside of Aspen, where we're gathering up for friends, and we'll stop in at Gold Hill and the like. Before that, though, we've got a camping trip up to Bryce Canyon with our RV club, and so I'm looking forward to that. And then on May 24th, we fly to Lewiston, Idaho, and get on a rear paddle wheel or boat, supposedly, that runs the Snake and Columbia River along the Lewis and Clark Trail. That's a 9-day cruise. The only other cruise we've ever done is the one we did with all you guys out of Fort Lauderdale.
John, you're too old to be doing all that.
Well, fortunately, I'm still upright and functioning.
That's
I'll
great.
take my
That's impressive.
I'll take my catheter with me though.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Hey, Pius, what's going on?
Well, while we were all talking and John came up with his book, I found this, and Bernie, I think maybe this would help you in your solving your Zoom thing. Can y'all read that?
Hold it up closer. Hold it a little closer, yeah.
Problems.
Right.
Solving. Does the damn thing work?
Does the damn thing work?
Yeah,
I
Did you-
needed that earlier today.
yeah. It said, did you fuck with it? Yes, you dumb shit. Does anyone know? No, hide it.
Poor bastard.
You poor bastard. That's right.
Yeah.
Can you blame someone else? No problem. I think I got this from the IBM management manual.
Yeah, yeah. Love it, love it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have anything really. We're having quite the contrast to Harry's weather. We have had the nicest winter and spring. Today it is 87 right now. It's a little couple degrees cooler than it has been. Not a cloud in the sky. It's just absolutely been gorgeous. So I hope that holds through the hurricane season. We don't need any more of that for a while. But Shirley and I are both very, very blessed to be so healthy. So it's good to talk to all of you guys. I hope we can talk for years.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hughes. Zeus.
Well, I'm in, I think you all know, we're selling I'm selling our place here in Florida. So I've been pretty busy packing and getting ready. The mover comes on May 2nd. I'm having a visit from Brother Volley and
Sandy.
huh?
You
Are you
froze.
on the 25th?
25th.
Yeah, Kurt and Sandy are gonna stop by. We're gonna have lunch over at the club. We're then when I get back, we are having a memorial for Georgia on the 29th of June in Michigan. And then shortly thereafter, I'm taking my two grandsons, George, who lives in Chicago, is a graduate at Chapel Hill, and Matthew, who's a junior at Georgia. We're going on a Danube cruise from Budapest to Passau and then up to Prague. So that's in July. And if I survive all these things, then I don't know I'm not sure what else I'll do. In the meantime, I've been packing up all the stuff that we have because the kids do want it for some reason. They want this stuff. So the mover is going to make 3 drops. He's going to Chicago to George's apartment, to Michigan to Libby's place, and then to Winston-Salem to Tom, and unload all this stuff. And hopefully I have nothing else to do with it after a while. So I'm happy with that. Otherwise, the weather, as Bob said, our weather here at Ponte Vedra has been marvelous. A lot of friends have been taking me out to dinner every night, having a good time, relaxing, and trying to get my life back in order again, I guess. And that's it. Glad to see you guys, and hope that this goes on forever.
Yeah.
In hope.
In Hoke. Hey, Kurt.
Well, I've experienced the wind. My brother had his youngest son living with him, and he unexpectedly died. So I went up to visit with my brother, and the days were really nice, but like Harry said, windy. And so it was a nice trip. I'm glad I went. My sister came over and we spent a lot of time, the 3 of us together. As George said, I'm going up to visit with him on the 25th, and we're staying the night. And then I go on a cruise, a 4-night cruise on the 29th of April. And we wanted to go on this because we wanted to go to Labadee for a 4-day cruise. And they notified us because of the problems in Haiti, they're not going to Labadee and they're going to Nassau, which we've been to about 40 times. So we're not exactly anxious to go to Nassau, but so we got another cruise set up for October the 21st. It's a 5-night cruise. Sandy doesn't want to take anything long anymore, so I'm taking Sandy and my daughter on all the cruises. We don't have anybody to take care of her at night, although we're getting somebody to, when we go up and see George, they're going to take care of her during the night. We're going to see how that works out.
Okay. Well, good.
You always can enlist.
Enjoy the cruise. Hey, Pete.
Yes. I'm getting used to my new digs, and there's a lot of nice people that I've known for years that live here, including my brother and his spouse at the time, and my daughter and son and daughter-in-law have just broken their backs, making it comfortable. I got furniture from about 5 houses, I think. And it's my health is, I don't read very well yet because I can't concentrate on the words, but I can see all right. But I can use the computer now some, and so the mind's working a lot better. I can do some word find puzzles, and other than that, my mind's, I mean, I can remember everything. Well, it was for our age.
Right.
Right, right.
I had to clarify that a bit, but it's a experience. I have some health problems, but not serious yet, but I hope when I I was going to the Y 3 days a week before I had my TIA, and I hope to get back to therapy here for a while. But
Well,
this is a very,
looks like you're in a real nice place, Pete.
yeah, and it's I actually have a nurse available at any time, and they do everything a little different here. Instead of putting in in different rooms, I think there's 3 levels of care, but you're in your apartment for the care.
Oh, okay. Nice,
If I need something, they come to me.
nice.
I
Good.
don't have to go to them. And it's worked out so far. It's working out very
Good. Hey, Hemi,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're both doing well, and our weather's been great all winter, and no snow at all this winter, and we've had great spring so far. We've had some wind, but nothing like you guys have talked about. And but May we're gonna travel to Texas for most of the month. We've got 2 granddaughters graduating, one in Houston, one in Austin. And I've got to play in a member guest golf tournament out in Kerrville. And then got to visit in between to MD Anderson to check on the prostate. And then we'll come back here early in June. But so far, we're both doing well. We're healthy and very fortunate. My brothers have both had their birthdays. One's 93 and the other one's 90. So we're all kicking and doing well. We've been very fortunate.
good genes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, it's been kind of interesting. George visited us in Florida in February, and I was having intense pain in my left leg from the hip problem. And so we flew back February 29th, March 1st. I had my visit with the orthopedic doctor, and he said, oh yeah, you gotta replace that hip. His first opening for surgery was May 10th. I don't think I could have made it. Anyway, he got it moved up to March 26th. And of course, then the place came open at the senior place. So we put the house on the market and we sold it in 3 days. We had 4 offers.
Wow.
4 offers, and 3 of the offers were for more than our asking price.
Good
So
Lord.
we got a closing date of April 29th, and we're going to move on April 25th. So just an awful lot going on.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, but we're blessed. It's everything's working out to the best it could be, really. So hey, well, good seeing you all. Good. I'm sure
Great.
we're able to have this communication.
Hey, Bernie, before you sign off, could we just ask around, has anybody talked to Bill Ellis? You don't talk to Bill, I think. Shirley, recently?
Not recently, no.
Not very sure.
How about the other spouses like Ruthie Batman?
I
Talk
talk
to
to
Ruth.
Ruthie about every 10 days or so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've texted with her a couple of times. She's
I
doing
talked
fine.
So,
I talked to Darcy Elsperman a few weeks ago, and she's getting along real well. And also, I talked to Diane Streff, and she's
How's she doing?
well. Pardon?
How is she doing?
She's doing. She sounded good. And
Is she in Clark Ridge or in Palm Springs?
she's in Palm Springs, I believe.
Okay.
And also I talked to Penny Trishman. And, yeah. So you all got the video of his,
I haven't talked.
yeah, I wasn't able to go to the service. It was just 4 days after my surgery. So I was sorry to miss that.
It was a beautiful service. I'm glad, thanks for sending that video.
Yeah,
'Cause, I appreciate that.
it was a very, very nice service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Margie White for about 3 months, I don't think, but try to keep in contact with some of them.
Who's that, Pete?
Marjorie Wyrick and Al's
Oh.
wife
And Nancy?
and
Nancy Morgan?
Nancy Morton. I talked to her about 2.5 weeks ago, I guess.
Oh. Well,
Good, you guys are doing that. That's good to maintain that communication.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, guys.
All right, well, thanks.
Guard
And,
well.
Yeah, next time, don't let your daughter or daughter-in-law, whatever, get in touch.
Right, right. I'm gonna have a serious talk with her.
Okay.
Now, whether that'll do any good, I don't know.
oh,
All right. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Oh,
Thank
God bless
you.
you all.
Take care.
Yeah.